So this is a series of lessons on pie charts that will be starting in January. So you guys are going to get a head start on this. So we've got pie charts is a way of displaying data that represents what we call proportion. So we can see in this flag, which we have the flag of Norway, well done, that there's lots of red going on. So there's a bigger proportion of red than there is of the blue and the yellow. So that's why in the pie chart there is more red there. Now if you actually calculated how much red there was, then we could actually calculate how much that is on the picture. But we can see that the blue and the white are roughly the same on the pie chart, and if we were to combine these two bits here, so that's roughly halfway of the blue, and same again there, it is roughly the same amount of red, blue and white on the actual flag. So we would say that the red part is the biggest proportion, and then it looks as though these are quite similar, although the white might be slightly smaller. Okay, so I thought to start with you might like to try and match up other flags with pie charts, so let's have a look at that. So if you want to pause the video, you can have a match up and try and get the right country with the right pie chart and see what you can pair up. Well, hopefully I've matched everything up correctly and you can maybe decipher all of my colour coding ribbon around the place. So we're going to be looking at how to draw a pie chart today, and we have to be quite accurate with our pie chart drawing. If you are struggling with how to use a protractor at any point, then I would suggest you pause the video and go to Hegarty and do video 458 and 4 up to 460, and that will tell you and teach you how to use the protractor more accurately, so you'll be able to continue with the lesson. Okay, so please make sure that you can use a protractor properly. Now, to be able to draw a pie chart, we need some data, and we are using discrete data. Now, discrete data is things that we can group together. So that might be boys and girls, so gender, it could be favourite colours, it could be whether or not which pet you have at home or none at all. It's things that we can put people in a group for. So we're going to be looking at some colours. I've just picked some colours and then I've picked some numbers, and the total of my numbers is 180. And it's important we work out what it adds up to make, because the one calculation that we have to remember is 360 divided by the total. 360 goes first, we have to make sure that's correct, otherwise we're going to end up with a wrong multiplier. We're then going to divide my 360, in this case, by 180, so it's going to change each time. So that will give me a multiplier of 2. So all of these we're going to times by 2 to get our angle that we have to draw. So that's going to be 46, 90, 32, 4, 104 and 84. Now before we start, we're going to just make sure it adds up to make 360, otherwise we're going to be out on our drawing. So I can see that 4, 4, it's going to give me 8, 8 plus the 2 is the 10, that gives me 20, so I've got 20 to start with. And then adding up the next row, we've got 2 and 8 makes the 10, and then the 3 and the 4 and the 9 is going to give me 6. So now I know which angles I've got to draw. We've actually got to construct a circle. So using a compass or a round of a coin or a glue stick end or anything circular, a toilet roll, okay, we need to draw a accurate circle to start with. It doesn't matter what size a circle it is. The bigger, the easier it is to draw, the more fiddlier are the smaller ones. Okay, so draw a circle to start with. Then we're going to mark the the circle, and then draw a line from the centre to the top of the circle. And once we've got to that point, we're then going to start measuring with a protractor. So I'm going to set up a circle. So I have my protractor and I have my circle. I've drawn my line to the centre, to the top of the circle. So we're going to put the protractor on. Now we don't just put the protractor on like that. That's a common mistake. Okay, what we have to do is make sure that the 0 of the protractor lines up with the vertical line that we're going to start with. So we can go either way round. So if I draw it that way round, we have to make sure that the centre point of the protractor is on the centre point of the circle, and we're going to also make sure that the 0 is lined up as well. And we're going to be measuring 46 degrees for the first one. So we're going to come around the outside, because my 0 at the top is on the outside, oh sorry, the inside, and I want to measure 46, which is about there. We're then going to remove the protractor out the way. And we're going to use a straight edge to draw the line to the centre of the circle. And we're going to label that 46 degrees, and that is blue. You can colour it later if you want to. So the next thing we're going to do is take the protractor again, and we're going to move it, but this time we're going to rotate it around. There we go. And we're going to line it up with the centre point again and the 0 of the line that I've just drawn, and we're going to measure 90 degrees. And we're going to mark where that is, and again move the protractor out of the way, and using the ruler we're going to line up and draw that. It's quite fiddly on the iPad, but we're having a go. So that should be 90 degrees, which is red, and then we're going to continue rotating the protractor around, making sure it's all lined up with the centre point and the 0, where my lines don't all match in the middle. And we want to make sure that we are measuring 32 for the next one, which is green. 2. So that gets us the green, and then we've got to measure 4 degrees to get us the small section of orange. So again, lining up best we can. Make sure everything's going to the middle, and it's all a lot easier. Let's go for, so we'll find an orange. 4 degrees is only small, so it's going to be down here somewhere. And remove the protractor. So getting the line in the right place, hopefully. Now we're going to label that to make 104, which is pink. And that hopefully leaves us 84. We can check on there. That's about 83, so we did alright considering it's the iPad. Oh, don't do that. Let me undo that. There we go. And we're going to just label the last section, so that's purple. So doing it by hand on a piece of paper is a lot easier than doing it on the iPad, so hopefully you can manage to sort that out. So what you're going to have a go is we're going to try and draw one together. So hopefully that's okay. The key thing to remember is to rotate the protractor as you go round. So we're going to go at a question. So we're going to copy out the table and try to calculate the angles that we need to. So pause the video and copy out the table. So remember, step 1 is to add up to get the total. That's the first thing to do. Then the second thing to do is to do 360 divided by that total. And then that becomes our multiplier, which is what we then times all of these numbers by to get our angle. So have a go first and then check your answers in a minute. Pause the video. So our total is 24, so we've got to do 360 divided by 24, which is 15. So we're timesing all of these by 15. So some of them are quick and easy, we can do straight away. So that's going to be 30, it's going to be 60, it's going to be 90, 70, 105. And 50, 75, and we're just going to check to make sure that it adds up to make 360. So we're now going to draw the protractor with the protractor to the pie chart. So you need to draw yourself a circle with a line from the centre to the top. Do your best to get that centre point correct, and then we need the protractor to start to draw. So remember to put your protractor on the centre and you make sure the 0 is lined up. And we're going to start by measuring 90 degrees. Okay, so if you pause the video and have a go at your pie chart, and then you can check to see if it looks like mine at the end. So hopefully we have something that looks like that. You're allowed to be 4 degrees out, so just check your last one to make sure it looks okay. Good, let's try some on your own then. So these are the two I want you to have a go at. So complete the table and then draw yourself the pie chart, and I'd like you to write me a short conclusion about what your pie chart is showing me. So pause the video and complete. So once you're done, if you take a photo of your work or scan it in or anything and then attach that to your email or Firefly, then we can check to make sure that we're on the right lines. Well done. So you're now going to complete the Heggerty tasks of 427 and 428. 427 is very similar to what we've just done. There's no drawing of pie chart, but you are completing the table to find the angle. 428 is the same thing, but the table is in a different direction, so you just have to try and imagine everything on its side. Okay. To finish then, we're going to have a little look at where we might use this. So these are two pie charts to do with retail sales in Canada and where people spend their money. I just took it off the internet, so you're looking at the ways people are spending and changing habits are happening over the years. So 2005 we can see that lots of people are buying electronics and appliances, whereas 2010 people are buying more something to do with food and beverage as they go through now. It doesn't say these are the same people or the amount of people are the same, so it's a bit trickier, but you can definitely make a comparison between certain areas and whether or not people are buying more things. So video games, for instance, is increasing as the years are going on, whereas home furnishings are less important. If we compare it to maybe 2020 now, would you reckon it will stay the same or not? Have a little think about that, and I'll send through the next lesson. Well done.